What's good, IE Sports Radio crew and fans? It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, back at it again with another new episode of the IE Wrestling Show. Yes, what is good, everyone? Welcome. I know it's been a while. I do apologize for the mix-up last week with everything going on here in with everything in my life here and my job. But I'm back repping the IE Sports Radio, repping the undisputed heavyweight championship of the podcast world, because it is your boy, the SoCal Saint, the host of the IE Wrestling Show. Please, if you can, do me a favor and please follow me on TikTok and on X at IE Wrestling Show. Oop, there we go. Oop, at IE Wrestling Show. That is my handles. Please follow me on there. For all your lovely wrestling news and content and updates and show links. And please do yourself a favor and follow the IE Sports Radio crew on all social media platforms. Follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at IE Sports Radio. IE Sports Radio is also available on multiple podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, Castbox, Deezer Podcasts, Addict, Podchaser, and Geo7. Geo7? Is that how you say that? All right. Never heard of that one, but all right. We are available on a lot of platforms, guys. And please do yourself a favor and check out our official website, iesportsradio.com. iesportsradio.com. where you can actually join for free, and you can be a part of the IE Sports Radio website, where you can read live blog postings, check out all of our shows, back catalog, and current episodes. If you're new to the brand of IE Sports Radio and you're just trying to play catch up, you can check out our official pages. Go to my official page on the website, iesportsradio.com/the IE Wrestling Show, where you can find all of my previous episodes. If you're just now becoming a fan of the IE Wrestling Show and you want to catch up on everything that I've been doing in the last year or so, I advise you to do that. If you like what I do, if you enjoy the sultry sounds of the SoCal Saint, go ahead and check it out and listen to some of the back episodes that we have for you. And also, if you love what we do, you want to throw some shekels our way, go to the IE Sports Radio official merch shop. That's iesportsradio.com/shop, where you can get this awesome IE Sports Radio official logo t-shirt. We have it in tank tops. We have it in men's tees. We have it in women's tees. Currently, right now, we're out of stock on awesome hats and hoodies, but I'm sure come the next few months we'll be able to pick that up here. But if you like what we do, you enjoy what we do, you want to keep the lights on for us because you're a passionate sports fan and you love the fact that the hosts of IE Sports Radio's many, many great shows are all passionate sports fans, just like yourself, the loyal listeners. Check out the merch store and rep some of that IE Sports Radio official merch. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. And also to keep the lights on here, we actually have a couple of official sponsors here at IE Sports Radio. We're going to take some time for them here in a moment before we get this show rolling. We have Planet Jerky. That's right. Planet Jerky, guys. Planet Jerky. Premium brisket beef jerky. The jerky that's on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah. You got to go to IE Sports Radio. Go to planetjerky.net. That's planetjerky.net. If you want to order yourself some delicious premium beef jerky. It is so good. Trust me, I've had it many times. The volcanic jalapeno and the barbecue are my two favorite flavors. I'm actually going to try and order myself some new flavors here. I want to try the Carolina Reaper one. I know that's probably like the hottest of the hot, but I myself love spicy food, especially if it tastes good. If it's just spicy to be hot for no reason, there's no flavor to it, then that's just ridiculous. But if it is hot, like if it's spicy with some delicious flavor, which I know this for sure is, just like their volcanic jalapeno, I know I will not be disappointed, and neither will you whenever you go to planetjerky.net and order yourself some delicious beef jerky from them. And please do yourself a favor and follow them also on Instagram. Follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. That's at Planet Jerky. and you can actually get some awesome deals if you mention them. I think they give you like a little bit of a discount, or mention IE Sports Radio. They might give you a little bit of a discount. I think. I can't recall for certain. I do apologize if I'm wrong with that. So don't quote me on that. Also, check out another awesome sponsor that keeps the lights on for us here at IE Sports Radio. It is Seal the Deal Wax Seals, guys. Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Seal the Deal Wax Seals is actually a awesome business that is a part of the IE Sports Radio family very closely, because it is run by the wife of the head honcho, Mrs. Head Honcho, Mrs. Larry B. So if you're needing any wax seal needs, like, for like, say, wedding invitations or graduation invitations, baby shower invites, anything like that, anything that's a special event that you want to add that nice, beautiful touch of just just to make it just that extra classy, go to Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Check out their official Instagram. It's right there down below. If you can see it scrolling right there, that's at Seal the Deal _ wax seals, Seal the Deal _ wax seals. And you can actually order directly from the official IE Sports Radio website at iesportsradio.com / Seal the Deal Wax Seals. So yeah, check that out, guys. And just don't take my word for it. Let's actually hear from the official sponsors of IE Sports Radio, and then we'll get right into the show. We'll be right back, guys.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at SealTheDeal _ wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
What's up, guys? We're back. We are back live on the IE Wrestling Show. We just heard from two of our official sponsors, Planet Jerky and Seal the Deal Wax Seals. So check those guys out, please. If you enjoy what we do, it helps us keep the lights on here at IE Sports Radio. So I know I'm about a week off now, guys, almost 2 weeks now. Excuse me, but I did want to get into a SummerSlam review. Yes, so SummerSlam came to you live from the Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, just a couple of weeks ago. I think it was the 3rd of August. Yeah, last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, something like that. Man, what a show it was. It was probably one of the best WWE premium live events since WrestleMania, I would say. I would definitely have to say that. Before I get into it, I just want to say shout out to the chat room. Shout out especially to my boy, Ralph Calise, the host of the Yinzer Report right here on IE Sports Radio. And I got to give him a big old yeet. That's right. That's for you, Ralph. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Hey, we had a new person in the chat room, Danny Mahone. I hope I'm saying your name right, sir. I'm so sorry if I'm wrong. But shout out to you, sir. Thank you for tuning in live here on the IE Wrestling Show. And yeet to you as well, sir. So SummerSlam, of course, like I said, was in Cleveland a couple Saturdays ago. And what a show it was. From top to bottom, it was just very, very enjoyable. I enjoyed everything story-wise from the show from top to bottom. It is freaking-tastic. It really was. We kicked it off hot with Mommy Rhea Ripley challenging Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. And what many people were predicting, myself included, and my boy Ralph, I know we talked about this in the chat room plenty of times over the last couple weeks leading up to SummerSlam, but me and him, I would say, we're dead set right on the money that the end result would be what it was, and due to outside interference from Dominic Mysterio, who at first it seemed like it was unintentional, then the reveal came right after that, with the swerve, the twist, because Dominic Mysterio is now with Liv Morgan. He turned on his mommy because, just like he said this past Monday night on a promo live on Monday Night Raw, he's got a woman that calls him daddy. She lets him eat tendies whenever he wants. She lets him play video games whenever he wants, and she lets me be me. So yes, Dom was tired of calling a grown woman mommy and found himself a young lady that calls him daddy, and that is why he turned on Rhea Ripley, costing her the opportunity to become Women's World Champion for a second time, and Liv Morgan is still the reigning defending Women's World Champion. That's so unfortunate for Rhea, but I'm sure she will gain a measure of revenge here in the next coming weeks, but more on that later. Next match on the card, I believe, let me see here. I'm trying to pull up the match card. I believe was for the Intercontinental title, I think was next. I think that's what it was, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to pull up the match card here. I thought I had it already pulled up, so I apologize for that, guys. It's been a couple weeks, so, me trying to remember everything just off the top of my head. I just can't do it like I used to. Yeah, I was right. It was the Intercontinental Championship. Next match on the card was the Intercontinental title, and the end result was definitely what I thought it should have been, especially with the outcome of Money in the Bank, which we all assumed was going to be Braun Breaker's coming out party, Braun Breaker becoming the new Intercontinental Champion and Money in the Bank. That was not the case. But then I did say that this match, if it was going the way that I thought it was going to go, it was going to be a more dominant fashion. It was going to be a shorter match, and we were going to get the end result that many thought we should have got at Money in the Bank, and that was Braun Breaker becoming the Intercontinental Champion, and that exactly what has happened. Sami Zayn had a very awesome reign. Short as it was, it didn't hit the record-breaking numbers of Gunther's Intercontinental Championship reign, which was ended by Sami Zayn. So I feel like that gives Braun an even bigger rub, is the fact that he beat the man that beat Gunther's historic record-breaking championship reign in Sami Zayn. Solid match. The crowd was hot for both of these individuals, even though Braun seems like he's a tweener right now. Like, yes, you're supposed to hate him, but at the same time, he's so talented, it's kind of hard to hate him. You know what I mean? It's hard not to like him. and he got a really great reaction, winning the Intercontinental Championship from Sami Zayn in front of a sold-out crowd in Cleveland. Not only that, it was shown on the screens later on in the evening that his uncle and his father, WWE Hall of Famers, the Steiner brothers, Scott and Rick Steiner, of course, Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner and the dog-faced gremlin Rick Steiner were in attendance. They were sitting in the Legends section of the stadium, along with some other Hall of Famers. I believe Miss Jacqueline was there, Diamond Dallas Page, Kevin Nash, X-Pac was there in the crowd, a few other legends that I can't recall at the moment. But, yeah, they were there, and they got to see their nephew and son win his first ever singles championship on a big stage like that, the Intercontinental Championship. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And yeah, yes, Danny in the chat room. Yes, their 2 out of 3 falls matches this past Monday Night on Raw was fucking awesome. That was a great way to like this guy, like you said, this kid has got mad upside, Ralph. Yes, he does, and he's already showing that in a main event on Monday Night Raw in a very short amount of time in his young career. That's what I mean. And him and Sammy put on a clinic this past Monday Night on Raw for sure. Next match on the card, I was so happy to see this because I think this was long overdue. LA Knight defeated Logan Paul to win his first major singles championship in the WWE, the United States Championship. This match ended the way it had to end. This had a lot of great spots. There was this one spot in the match where Logan Paul did a springboard moonsault from the very top rope to the outside of the ring, and man, Logan got mad air on that moonsault. He like almost overshot LA Knight. He got him, but I'm sure he could have got if he didn't jump so high, he probably could have made it look a little bit cleaner. But I mean, it still was a very impressive move on his part to hit that springboard moonsault to the outside of the ring. And then this match, the ending of the match was fantastic. I thought it got a really huge pop from the crowd when Logan Paul had the brass knuckles given to him by rapper MGK, who was in the crowd sitting with Logan's little cronies, from his little, podcast crew. Logan Paul hit LA Knight with the brass knuckles, and then he went for that over the top rope, clothesline that he does that, is very reminiscent of one of the finishers from Hangman Page out in AEW. But LA Knight was on top of it, caught him, boom, hit the BFT, and 1, 2, 3, we have a new United States champion. Yeah! Very solid match. Out of all the matches, this next one was probably the one that may have been the weakest of all the matches, but it still had a very awesome ending. Like, it was kind of slow getting started, but then the last 5-6 minutes of the match is where the crowd started to come alive for this match, especially with the ending. Nia Jax, the 2024 Queen of the Ring, defeated Bayley to win the WWE Women's Championship. So yes, Bayley, after her triumphant victory at WrestleMania, has lost the Women's Championship to the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax. And doing this, I think, was definitely the right booking decision. I know there's a lot of fans online that are probably like, oh, man, Bayley's title reign wasn't booked right, and I thought Bayley would have did more, or she should have had a longer title reign. There's some – those are some just opinions, honestly. But I feel like to make the Queen and King of the Ring tournaments really show how important they truly are to the success of a superstar's future, this was the outcome that had to happen. You had to show that the Queen or King of the Ring have to be victorious in the title match that they earned by winning that tournament. And they did that with both the title matches, which we'll get into here shortly. Nia Jax successfully winning the WWE Women's Championship, kind of coming full circle after getting let go by the company, being rehired in the Triple H era, being pushed very strongly. And here you go. Now she's being rewarded with not only the Queen of the Ring crown in the same year, but now the WWE Women's Championship. And for a second there, I thought we were going to get a cash in, but we only got a tease of it when Tiffany Stratton, Miss Money in the Bank, came out and sort of distracted Bayley, helping her lose the championship. But I feel like this was the right booking decision because at some point in the near future, I feel like we're going to get a babyface turn for not Nia Jax, for Tiffany Stratton. I think Tiffany is going to become a babyface at some point because the crowd already does really enjoy her work, her in-ring work. All all obvious things aside, yes, she is a very beautiful woman, but her in-ring work, for as young as she is, and especially young to the business, she's very, very talented. And I feel like the crowd is definitely appreciative of Tiffany Stratton. And I think WWE got a glimpse of what it could mean for her and for the company with a babyface run this past February in Perth, when at the Elimination Chamber, she got one of, if not the biggest reaction from the live crowd in Australia, next to the hometown girl Rhea Ripley, when she was involved in that Elimination Chamber women's match. Tiffany Stratton was like the most over woman in that match. And I feel like WWE will definitely play into that in the coming months. Maybe we'll get that face turn closer to WrestleMania season, because we're already like halfway through this year. We're coming into the fall of the WWE programming with the new, SmackDown is going to be moving to USA in September, so that's just a few weeks away. And then in 2 months, we get less than 2 months now, we get the CW and NXT premiering on the CW network. Next match on the card was the match that I was looking forward to the most out of all the matches on this night. It was at 17 minutes even, flat 17 minutes, with special guest referee Seth freaking Rollins. Drew McIntyre defeated CM Punk in a one-on-one match at SummerSlam. And that is exactly, I think, what needed to happen. I'm a huge Punk fan. I'm enjoying the work that Drew McIntyre has been doing over the last few months. And adding Seth Rollins into the mix was just a nice little icing on the cake, because he's got history with both of these individuals. And it's like teasing us that we are going to eventually get that main event match between Seth and CM Punk somewhere down the line. But right now, it is all involved with Drew and Punk, and just Punk. What a beautiful match and storytelling. A lot of people were nervous about CM Punk, his first match back since his tricep injury, but Punk looked damn good in that ring. Punk was definitely beefed up. You could see that he's been hitting the gym during his rehabilitation from that injury. He looked healthy. He definitely looked a lot healthier than the last time he was in a ring, as far as like his AEW run, I would say, because like it's almost like night and day, like between like over the course of a year. If you go back and watch some of those final AEW appearances that he had, like All In and the Collision episodes, he to me, he just looked real thin. I wouldn't say gaunt. He just looked real thin, and he had no hair. He was rocking the bald look, the shaved look, and he definitely didn't look anywhere as healthy as he did at SummerSlam and how he is looking currently. You can see Punk is definitely taking the time and really enjoying his time with the company, and it shows. And that match was fantastic. It definitely let everybody know that anybody who's a skeptic on CM Punk and his in-ring skills and him being quote unquote injury prone, I think that silenced people. And they're going to be looking forward to the continuation of this feud between Drew and CM Punk, which is definitely what we're getting. I don't know if we're going to be getting a match at Bash of Berlin, or we're going to keep letting it play out a little longer. But I know, and I've heard already, that the rumors going around per a lot of wrestling journalism websites is that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is already penciled in as the main event for Bad Blood in October, and it will be inside of a Hell in a Cell match, because of course Hell in a Cell was first originated at the 1997 Bad Blood pay-per-view, the very first Bad Blood pay-per-view, and that match was The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, very famously in the very first ever Hell in a Cell match, and that was the night that we got the debut of The Undertaker's brother, Kane. The Big Red Machine made his debut in the WWE for the very first time that night. It was just a very historic night for the WWE in terms of that match alone. I mean, like I can't really think of any other matches that night that took place at the 97 Bad Blood The only match that everyone remembers is the very first Hell in a Cell match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. And for Drew and Punk to have the blow-off, which I feel like this would be the blow-off match, like the last one between them. I don't see I'm sure they can always revisit this feud because of how strong it's been. But I mean, in terms of this current storyline that we're in, I feel like Hell in a Cell has to be the blow-off. What can you do more than a Hell in a Cell match? What is the ultimate end-all be-all? It has to be a Hell in a Cell match, just like with Cody and Seth. Whenever Cody Rhodes came back to the WWE in 2022, he had the first match at WrestleMania with Seth. Then they had the rematch at WrestleMania Backlash, which Cody also won. And then they had the final match, the blow-off, with Cody injured with that devastating torn pec injury where he was just had this huge bruise all the way up his chest and his bicep. That was contested inside of a Hell in a Cell, and that was at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that year. That was the main event for that show, and that was the blow-off of the feud between Cody and Seth. So I feel like that's the only way to book that, is to do the same with Punk and Drew. Next match on the card, definitely another match that surprised the hell out of me about how good it definitely was. It was Gunther becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion by defeating El Campeón, Damian Priest, at SummerSlam. He is also the King of the Ring. Gunther, another one, like I stated earlier when I was talking about Nia, he won the King of the Ring tournament, and Gunther this had to be the end result. Gunther had to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther has only lost a handful of times since coming up to the main roster, or coming to WWE, period. He lost to Ilya Dragunov, the NXT United Kingdom Championship. He lost to Braun Breaker on NXT 2.0 on his way out onto the main roster. And he lost to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania this year. So Gunther, the majority of the time Gunther has been in the WWE, he has been a champion. He has the record. He holds the record for the longest reigning NXT United Kingdom champion. He holds the record for the longest reigning Intercontinental champion in all of history. And now, could we see a record-breaking World Heavyweight Championship reign in Gunther's future? Who's going to stop Gunther? He is the Ring General. Not many people have stepped to Gunther and been able to put his shoulders down to the mat for the 1, 2, 3, or have made him submit in any way, shape, or form. And this match was just a hard-hitting match between these two. You can see the crowd was really into this match, and the crowd really got behind Damian Priest as this fighting champion, even though initially it seems like we had a heel versus heel match. These two men being established as, they're not, neither one of them a babyface. But that would change by the end of the match, because Finn Balor would show up. Finn Balor would show up and cost Damian Priest the World Heavyweight Championship. Another thing that me and my boy Ralph had talked about in the weeks coming up to SummerSlam, we had talked about this, that Finn was going to turn. This is how Priest had to lose the title. And that's exactly what happened. In 2 matches on the same night, the Judgment Day imploded. And Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest are now on the outs. They are no longer in the Judgment Day. Both of their title matches ended in disarray, where we had now Rhea Ripley could not successfully win the Women's World Championship, and Damian Priest is no longer the World Heavyweight Champion. Gunther, thanks to Finn Balor, is the World Heavyweight Champion. And we have a new Judgment Day in its place. Finn Balor, JD McDonough, the World Tag Team Champions, Carlito, Dirty Dom, Daddy Dom, and Liv Morgan, the Women's World Champion. And in the main event, guys, this is the one I can't wait to talk about this. Bloodline rules match for the undisputed WWE Championship. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes successfully defended the undisputed WWE Championship against the phony chief, the wannabe chief, the Temu chief, the TikTok shop chief, Solo Sikoa. And you know why I say that? Because thanks to the outside interference of the returning OTC. The OTC, the only tribal chief, the original tribal chief, the head of the table. Put your ones in the sky if you believe. Roman Reigns has returned to the WWE, and he is on a path to set things right with this bloodline, this fake-ass bloodline, this bloodline 2.0. He showed up. The crowd went absolutely insane whenever his music hit. He sauntered down the ring. He didn't run down the ring. Just this aura. This man, when you think of aura, he is the definition of aura in professional wrestling. He literally just cruised on down to the ring before hitting the ring. Boom! Superman punched to Solo Sikoa. And then the crowd all together with Roman. Ooh! Ah! Spear to Solo Sikoa. And Solo's down on the mat. And you get a glance at Cody and Roman looking at each other. Cody acknowledges Roman. Roman acknowledges Cody. And Roman leaves the ring. Cody hits Crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, still undisputed WWE champion. And this is just the beginning of this bloodline civil war. I'm telling you right now, I keep saying this every episode. Come Survivor Series, it will be the OG bloodline. It will be Roman. It'll be Jey Uso. It'll be Sami Zayn. It'll be Jimmy Uso with the wise man, Paul Heyman, against this bloodline 2.0. The WWE Tag Team Champions, Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, Tonga Loa, and Solo Sikoa. And another little tidbit I want to add into that, I feel like what's going to end up happening in that match, if that's the course, if that's where we're going, it's going to be The Rock, the final boss, revealed as the man behind this new bloodline, which will then lead to the dream match that everyone has been waiting for. The OTC versus the final boss. Roman Reigns versus The Rock in Vegas for WrestleMania. Whew. Man, what a SummerSlam, guys. It really pushed forward everything that WWE's been doing the last couple of weeks. It pushed forward storylines to the future. It's definitely gave everyone a reason to tune in to Monday Night Raw and to SmackDown the following week. SmackDown hit some of the biggest numbers they've hit in months with the return of Roman Reigns this past Friday, and Roman's going to be in oh God, I can't remember what city they're in this week. I think it's Kansas City, something like that. I think I might be wrong, but Roman will be live on SmackDown this coming Friday, and I wonder if Roman's going to grab a microphone because he hasn't talked yet since he's been back. But we'll see. So you got to tune in to SmackDown this coming Friday for this for Roman's next appearance on SmackDown. Yes, shout out to everybody that's just joining me in the chat room now. Marcus Losgreat, host of Gloves Off. Taryn Rodriguez in the chat room. Yes, the host of Set Point and the SoCal Supreme Sports Show. And I see my boy, the head honcho of Ice Sports Radio, Larry B, popped in. What's good, everyone? We're going to take a short little break, guys. Let's hear from some of our other affiliates here at Ice Sports Radio. Then we come back, ready to get into some wrestling news. And then we're going to get into the card for AEW's All In London 2024 and the current card for WWE's Bash at Berlin. Stay tuned, guys. We will be right back.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Losgreat, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea They are coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Everybody, this is Darren Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Fans that we just heard from our awesome affiliates of Marcus Losgreat's Gloves Off podcast and Set Point from Taryn Rodriguez. Thanks, guys, for that. We got some wrestling news. It's been a while since I've done just wrestling news tidbits, so let's get into it, guys. So, big shout out to the WWE for this. WWE has signed the son of a Hall of Famer. I'm talking about the world's strongest man. I'm talking about sexual chocolate. I'm talking about Mark Henry. Yes, WWE has signed the son of Mark Henry. His name is Jacob Henry. WWE has signed Jacob Henry to an NIL deal. He is Jacob Henry. Jacob Henry. Oh, I said Joe. I said Henry. I'm thinking about Joe Hendry now. Anyway, I apologize. Jacob Henry, the son of WWE Hall of Famer, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, has signed an NIL deal, next in line deal with the WWE. Jacob Henry is one of the top high school wrestlers and football players out of this state that I live in currently, Texas. Him and his dad were actually live in the crowd this past Monday night on Raw because they were coming to you live from Austin, Texas. And he has previously set national records on all 4 powerlifting categories, squat, bench, deadlift, and total, and was named the world's strongest teenager by the LA Times record-setting National High School Powerlifting Championship. He is currently he's going to be a student. Here we go. This is what the deal. This is what it means to be signed to the WWE for an NIL deal. He will be paid by the WWE while he goes to college. He will be on the University of Oklahoma wrestling team as a heavyweight, which is one of the best programs in the country. And he will also be trying out for the football team in the spring. So he's got a lot of potential for his future, but he's got a guaranteed shot at a future with the WWE whenever he graduates from college. So congratulations to Jacob Henry, the son of WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, in getting a deal with the WWE. Congratulations. That's really awesome to see. The next generation of WWE superstars is coming, guys, and it's so crazy that it's now the son or daughters of guys that we grew up watching. Mark Henry was a very prominent superstar during the Attitude Era. Of course, he was known as Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry. It's sexual, baby. You know, him and Mae Young famously ended up giving birth to a hand. If you remember that ridiculous segment on Raw all those years ago. And Mark Henry then took his career in a whole new direction when he became the world's strongest man, and then eventually became the world heavyweight champion when he introduced the gimmick of the Hall of Pain, where he was just decimating guys left and right. His career definitely is Hall of Fame worthy. And it's so cool to see that his son now gets an opportunity to become a part of the company that made him such a household name in the world of professional wrestling. And this is going to be a mix here, guys, a mix of here we go, a mix of professional wrestling and football. So I know if Larry B, the head honcho and host of the Defining Moment and 3 and Out, is listening, I'm sure he's going to appreciate this. Congratulations to Steve Mongo McMichael. That's right, Steve Mongo McMichael. I know I'm a little late. This was during SummerSlam weekend, so I'm a little late, but I definitely wanted to touch a note on this and definitely give congratulations to Steve Mongo McMichael for this. Steve Mongo McMichael received his place in the NFL, receiving an NFL Hall of Fame award. Mongo played in the NFL from 1980 to 1994. He played for the following teams. He played for the New England Patriots in 1980. He played for the championship Chicago Bears from 1981 to 1993. And then lastly, playing for the Green Bay Packers in 1994. As a player, he had some great accomplishments. He's a Super Bowl champion at Super Bowl 20. He's the first All-Team All-Pro from 1985 and 1987. He was a 3-time second-team All-Pro in 1986, 88, and 91. And he was a 2-time Pro Bowler in 1986 and 1987. He would have a small stint in the WWE back during WrestleMania 9 and do commentary and brawl with Kama Mustafa, a.k.a. The Godfather. He was, of course, in the corner of very famous NFL player and former New York Giant Lawrence Taylor whenever LT went one-on-one with Bam Bam Bigelow in the main event of WrestleMania 9. Later on in 1996, Steve Mongo McMichael would join WCW, and he would eventually become a member of the legendary stable, the Four Horsemen. It was him, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, and he who should not be named, until Arn Anderson had to retire, and then Dean Malenko ended up eventually taking that spot before Mongo McMichael ended up retiring from the world of professional wrestling in 1999. But before that, he would actually have a championship reign as the United States champion one time in his wrestling career. Unfortunately, Mongo's been suffering from ALS in recent years, and he was unable to physically attend the Hall of Fame, but the Hall of Fame was brought to him where he had teammates and family, and his wife were there, and they presented him with his Hall of Fame award and the bust of him, that Hall of Fame bust of his face and likeness. So that was really touching to see. Congratulations to Steve Mongo McMichael. Sending prayers to you and your family. And I just, I hope all is well in the McMichael household. Just had to get a shout out to an NFL great and a former professional wrestling personality. This was a little bit of shocking news because I thought he was going to be there for a little bit longer than just a cup of coffee. But former X Division champion Mustafa Ali is done with TNA Wrestling. After losing the X Division Championship at Slammiversary to Speedball Mike Bailey, Mustafa Ali ended up having a one-on-one World Championship match against Nick Nemeth in a unsuccessful venture. He ended up losing that match, and then a couple of days after that match was broadcast on television, Mustafa Ali via social media posted this long letter here I'm about to read to y'all. Well, I probably won't read all of it, but my fellow citizens of TNA, over the past 6 months, we have made great progress as a company. Today, TNA has the strongest fan base in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our X division and lowering the number of senior citizens on our roster and in expanding affordable tickets to a record number of fans worldwide. We provided critically needed entertainment to millions, passed the first limits rule for the X Division in 22 years, featured the X Division Championship on the cover of Pro Wrestling Illustrated for the first time since 2006, appointed the first Pakistani Indian American as champion, main evented record-breaking attendance shows. TNA has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the citizens of TNA. Together, we overcame unfit and unfair leaders. We've protected and preserved our X Division, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances with promotions all around the world. And this is what he said here. Let's skip a little bit. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Campaign Singh for being an extraordinary campaign manager and all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the citizens of TNA for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today what I've always have, that there is nothing that TNA can't do. When we do it together, we just have to remember we are TNA. He said, it has been my great honor of my life to serve as your X Division champion. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is the best interest of my party and the X Division for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my independent obligations for the remainder of my term. So, yeah, so in a very presidential-esque way, Mustafa Ali has stated that he is leaving TNA. I don't know if he may show up back in the WWE, if he's just going to stay on the indie scene for a little bit longer, or if he could be heading to, maybe Japan or AEW, who knows. But right now he is contractually not obligated to TNA any longer. Big news, guys. Of course, I mentioned this a little earlier. NXT will hit the road for the CW premiere October 1st. It was announced via social media by the head of creative of NXT, Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. He confirmed that NXT is going on the road. The launch of NXT on the CW will take place at the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois. Not only that, CM Punk, Chicago's own CM Punk, will be live in attendance for the premiere episode of NXT from the Allstate Arena on October 1st, live on the CW. And then the following week, it was announced also by Shawn Michaels that on October 8th, NXT will take place from the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri, and St. Louis's own Apex Predator Randy Orton will be live in attendance for that show as well. So back-to-back weeks, the premiere episode and the follow-up episode will feature two WWE legends in CM Punk and Randy Orton in their hometowns. Allstate Arena, Chicago, October 1st. Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri on October 8th. I'm definitely looking forward to the premiere of NXT on network television. This will be the first time, not the first time, because currently SmackDown's on Fox, but I mean, it feels like the good old days when, back in the day when SmackDown was on UPN. For kids who don't, or that are too young to remember that was a station on television at one time, UPN. And then UPN would merge with the WB network, which was also another network that's no longer around, to become the CW network. So that's what we have now as the CW network is the remnants of the used to be known as UPN and WB network. All right, guys. And that's it for the wrestling news. I know not a whole lot of wrestling news. I just wanted to touch on that here for a little bit. But now we want to get into All In. I feel like I wouldn't be a well-rounded, podcaster of professional wrestling if I didn't talk about AEW. I know I'm very detrimental to their product because I am no longer really a fan of their product. But I feel like it would be unbiased of myself. It would be biased of myself if I didn't talk about it. That's the proper word. AEW All In London 2024 comes to you live from the Wembley Stadium in London, England. This is the second year in a row that AEW is going to be running the Wembley Stadium. Last year, of course, if you believe the numbers that Tony Khan stated and not the numbers that were actually given out by the government of London, the actual people that would track this correctly and not a pro wrestling promoter inflating the numbers like every pro wrestling promoter does from WWE to now to AEW. But if you believe the numbers that AEW made for last year at All In, they hit somewhere up towards of like 80,000 people in the crowd, which they say is like the biggest live attended crowd and yada yada whatever. It's all bullshit anyway, and they are nowhere near that. SummerSlam has outsold AEW's All In, and they did that in less time. All In's tickets have been on sale for over a year now. All In will take place on August 25th. 2024 from Wembley Stadium in London, England. And this is the card currently. I know that the final card is not set in stone as of yet, but these are the matches that have already been announced for the show so far. in a pre-show match, we're going to get Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway going 2-on-2 against Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii in a mixed tag team match. And then for the main card, this is what we have so far. In a casino gauntlet match for a future AEW World Championship match, it'll be a triple threat match between Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly, the winner of which will face a superstar to be named at a later time. The three-way triple threat trios match for the AEW World Trios Championship, the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne defend the AEW World Trios titles against the Bang Bang Gang, Juice Robinson, Austin and Colton Gunn, the Guns, and the House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. The one-on-one match for the AEW Continental Championship, Kazuchika Okada of the Elite will defend the title against the Blackpool Combat Club's Claudio Castagnoli. AEW TBS Championship match, Mercedes Moné defends the AEW TBS title against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, in her return match. Jack Perry will defend the AEW TNT Championship against Darby Allin. MJF will defend the AEW American Championship against Will Ospreay. The AEW Women's World Championship will be defended by Timeless Tony Storm, defending the title against the Glamour Mariah May. And the main event, Swerve Strickland will defend the AEW World Championship against Bryan Danielson in a title versus career match. A couple weeks ago, on the one time I actually watched Dynamite for about 5 minutes, Bryan Danielson announced that his contract with AEW has come to an end prior to All In. He has signed a short-term extension with the company. Bryan Danielson said that he will not be re-signing a full-time contract if he cannot win the World Championship. He will retire if he loses in London. He's been very vocal about wanting to scale back the full-time in-ring competition. He's even stated on a podcast recently that he's had more injuries since joining AEW than he has in the entire time he's been a professional wrestler. Even during his time with the WWE, he's been more quote-unquote injury-prone since being a part of the AEW roster, which is definitely sad to see, but it is in fact true. He's been on the shelf more than he's been in the ring. Swerve Strickland, definitely not the best booked world champion, which is really sad because I was excited whenever Swerve did win the title, but he's been booked as an unfortunate afterthought this entire time. And, it is, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's unfortunate, but I don't know what the outcome of this match will be. Hopefully Bryan doesn't stick around. I hope he sticks to his word and just puts over Swerve. Maybe that'll help Swerve's title reign look a little more, prestigious. And Bryan will ride off into the sunset, which I believe it's probably time to do so. We're going to take another short little break, guys, here from a couple more of our affiliates here at iSports Radio. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about the card right now as it stands for WWE's next premium live event, Bash in Berlin. And we will be right back in just a moment, guys. Stay tuned.
What's up, Pittsburgh? This is Ralph DeLeese, the host of the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Are you that passionate diehard Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, or just a Pittsburgh sports fan? Then please join me on the Injury Report every Tuesday on IE Sports Radio, the direct feed for all that is sports, and I will update you on all that's black and gold, have you telling your Pittsburgh fans and friends. What's up with Pittsburgh sports? Tune in Tuesday with me, Ralph Calise, the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go!
What's good, everyone? It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
We are back with the IE Wrestling Show. Thank you for staying tuned here live for my entire episode. I really do appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate it. If you like what we do here at the IE Wrestling Show, please hit that like, share, subscribe, and continue to please follow me on all of my social media accounts on TikTok and X. There it is right there at IE Wrestling Show right there. That's the handle. Don't forget it. And thanks, shout out to the Yinzer Report hosted by my boy Ralph Calise. Yeet! And shout out to It's Drewski, the host of the Heart of Texas Sports. Check out his show. It is awesome. He really, and man, that boy goes everywhere, man. I always be seeing him in the crowd on X. He's always posting that he's in the crowd at Rangers games. He's been at more Rangers games than I think I've ever known anyone to be since I moved here to Texas. So shout out to It's Drewski. All right, so last thing on the docket, guys, before I say adieu and try to get some Z's in here before I got to pick up my kiddo. It is WWE's Bash in Berlin. It'll be coming to you live on Saturday, August 31st from the Uber Arena in Berlin, Germany. And it'll be streaming live, of course, on Peacock. And this will be the first WWE Premium Live event ever to be held in Germany. The WWE doing big things this year, guys. And the matches that have been announced so far, definitely looking forward to each one of them. It's only been 3 matches so far, and we still got, a couple weeks left before the big event. I know Triple H likes to, for these, smaller shows where it's not the big 4, which is, of course, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. He likes to keep the shows condensed. I would be shocked if he announced more than 2 more matches because most of the cards that we've gotten on these other shows in between the big ones have only been about 5 to 6 match cards. So it's already got 3 matches announced so far. So I think we're probably due for another 2 or 3 before it's all said and done. It's going to be a mixed tag team match. 2 members that have been ousted by the Judgment Day look to get some revenge on 2 of the members of the Judgment Day. It'll be the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, going 2-on-2 against the Judgment Day's Dirty Dominic Mysterio and the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. That should be an awesome, fun mixed tag team match. I can't wait to see that. For the undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, has said that he wants to he wants to give his friend, a man that's helped him in this battle against the bloodline, an opportunity to become the undisputed WWE champion. It'll be Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE title against the prize fighter, Kevin Owens. And the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. And a special stipulation has been added to this match. And this match is a result of what happened in the King of the Ring final, because very famously in that really fantastic match, everything was great about this match but the ending, where Randy Orton's shoulders were not completely on the mat, yet they were counted down for a 1-2-3, giving Gunther the King of the Ring crown for this year and the opportunity to become the World Heavyweight Champion at SummerSlam whenever he competed against Randy Orton at King of the Ring. It was an agreement between general managers Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce to get this match set in stone, and we are having it at Bash in Berlin. Gunther, in his first ever World Heavyweight Championship title defense, will defend the title against the Apex Predator Randy Orton. And the special stipulation is, if Orton wins the championship, he will be transferred from SmackDown to Raw. But if Gunther loses, then he will vice versa be transferred from Raw to SmackDown. So that is the special stipulation. It's a superstar for a superstar. If Gunther loses the title, he heads to SmackDown, and Randy takes his place on Monday Night Raw. But I don't see that happening. I feel Gunther gets a dominant fashion match out of Randy and retains the title in a traditional fashion. No ifs, ands, or buts. No asterisk. Nothing like that. I feel Gunther is definitely leaving Berlin World Heavyweight Champion. And that's really all we got for you guys. And so I just want to say, before we close it out, guys, please don't forget to follow IE Wrestling Show on all social media platforms, at least on TikTok and on X. Follow me on X and on TikTok at IE Wrestling Show. Please follow the IE Sports Radio on all of our social media platforms on X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Follow IE Sports Radio on all of these available podcasting platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Please go to IESportsRadio.com and check out our merch shop at IESportsRadio.com/merch. If you want to buy and get yourself official IE Sports Radio merch. Thank you guys for for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Shout out to everyone that was in the chat room that listened live and watched live. Shout out. I really appreciate it, guys. Yeet. Have a great week. I will see you guys same day. Well, wow. I'm forgetting my own outro. Same SoCal Saint time, same SoCal Saint channel. I will see you guys next week, guys. Take care. Have fun. Be safe.